Hi, this is Professor Jimmy, and this week I'm coming to you with a rave. I have heard about many great students in my time of teaching at Southern Colorado University of Music, but my brother, Mr. Devine, he was telling me about this really outstanding student, and she can teach us a couple of things about how to be a great student because great students really help to bring out the greatness in teachers. I'm going to tell you probably the best trait that this one student has is that she is kind. And she is kind, not just like sometimes, but she is kind all the time. And I really appreciate that in this student from what I've heard from Mr. Devine. But I'll tell you about some of her other traits too. She asks questions. There's nothing worse for a teacher than to have to always be lecturing and talking, and you get tired of hearing it as a student. But if you ask questions, we know exactly what piece of knowledge you need and we can fill in the blanks for you. This student is a hard worker. You see, there's so many students who they're just like the that plant on that musical. I don't remember what it's called, but there was a man eating plant, and the plant always was like, feed me, feed me. And that's how some students are. But you have to take the knowledge that the professors give you and the teachers give you, and you have to put it into your brain, and then you work hard at that and improve. And you take that 10% of knowledge and you improve it, and it makes you into a terrific person because the work that you put into it will make the knowledge just 10% of it and the hard work 90% of it. So knowledge is important, but then using that knowledge, and if you're a hard worker, you'll get to use that knowledge. This student also is involved in other things. She's not just involved in Mr. Devine's classes. She's doing things in the honor society and doing some sports and doing some other things outside of what she does at school. You see, our involvement in things also teaches us something, and it's going to be different for every person. For you, it might be the Boy Scouts, it might be the Girl Scouts, it might be the honor society, it might be football, it might be jazz band, it might be debate club, it might be chess club, but get involved in something. This student is a leader. Now, I'm going to tell you that many people misunderstand leadership. They think that you need a title to be a leader, but you don't need a title to be a leader. You're a leader by your actions, by setting the example for other people. That's how you're a leader. And when you're a leader, you may never have a title in your life. In fact, this particular student doesn't really have a title in the band, but she sets the example. She works hard. She takes what she knows. She asks questions and she's involved. And that makes her a leader. The next trait to be a great student is you have to be motivated. It goes back to that feed me, feed me. It takes more than just gaining the knowledge and putting it in your brain. You have to be motivated to do something. And that motivation often comes from something internal. It can't be forced upon you by somebody else. If you take a gun and you point it at someone and you say, go take out the trash or I'm going to shoot you with the gun, they're going to be motivated, but that motivation won't be coming from within them. It's going to be a motivation out of fear. So you need to dig deep and find what is it that you're passionate about, and then put forth the hard work that will take you to the next level with that. A great student is also a problem solver. Recently, my brother's jazz band played in for their yearly concert. I wasn't able to make it to that, but Mr. Devine was telling me about it, about how there was a singer who was supposed to sing and she wasn't able to make it, and that was how the whole song started out. And the jazz band, they just figured out their own solution without Mr. Devine. They were problem solvers. They didn't wait for Mr. Devine to come in and tell them what to do. They found a way to solve the problem. When I have students who are problem solvers, they come to me with things that they know are conflicts, and they ask me for help sometimes in resolving the conflict, or they solve it themselves so that the teachers don't have to worry about it. Maybe they have a conflict between my class, and I'm so excited about the new class I'll be teaching this fall. I'm sorry to go off the subject here for a minute. The new class I'm going to be teaching is called Wand Ensemble. WAND, wand ensemble, and it's going to be techniques for how to conduct when you're conducting a Harry Potter song, and it's going to be great because the normal conducting just doesn't work for that. And I'll be teaching that along with my other class, concert band. BANNED, concert band. And that's a history of people who were kicked out of their high school concert band, and now some of them are famous and some not so famous. So maybe if you enroll in Southern Colorado University of Music, maybe you could take one of those two classes. The wand ensemble, it's only open to music majors, but concert band, that's for anybody, whether they're music major or not. One of the other traits of a great student is they seize opportunities. They take something, they do things that stretch them outside of their comfort zone, and they try something different and something new. And that will help them to grow as a person and help them to grow as a citizen and to become a solid citizen. That they also have a support system in place. My brother, Mr. Devine, and I, we didn't have a father figure in our lives. And we both sought out people who could fill that role for us. There were probably 15 or 16 men that I can remember who were like that support system for me. Some of them were coaches, some of them were music teachers, some of them were Boy Scout leaders, but they filled that role in my life. So a great student surrounds himself with a great support system. And that would also include friends who build you up, not friends that tear you down. There are some friends that don't need to be friends. They're not even friends. They're talking behind your back and they're pulling you down. Get rid of those friends. Put them off to the side and find some friends who love you and who care for you and who are willing to tell you the hard things, whether you want to hear it or not, because sometimes we all need to hear some hard things to help us go to that next level as a person. And the final thing that can help you to become a great student is you have to be trustworthy. You can't lie and expect to be a great student. You have to be dependent on to always tell the truth, to always do the right thing, even when that right thing is going to bring punishment or pain on yourself. It's easy to do the right thing when there's no punishment or pain involved. So a great student is trustworthy. And that, if you follow these steps, it's going to help you to become a great student. But remember, make sure that you are kind all the time. Kind all the time to everybody that you come in contact with, other teachers, professors, the admin, the people who clean your building, to Mr. Devine, to Professor Jimmy. If you see me around, I used to get teased a lot because of the style I've chosen to 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 dress like. In fact, one of the students one time asked me if they asked my brother actually, and he passed the question on to me. And it's painful for me to talk about. They asked if I had ever dated. Well, there was one time and it did not go well. I don't even want to talk about that. I'm so happy for my brother, Mr. Devine. He's found the love of his life, and they've been married 30 years. And one of my friends tried to set me up on a blind date, and that didn't go over very well at all. I hope that you will take this advice to heart and that you will become a great student.